Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. How you doing? Mr. Poseidon here, Fishing Champs. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing out there tonight? I had a great weekend. We had the Montauk Surf Association show. That was happening in the Radisson Hotel out in Hauppauge, Long Island. If you weren't there, I got to tell you. I don't like to do this, but I'm going to tell you. You guys missed out. You missed out. I never saw so many people under a roof at one time. And the best part was, they were all fishermen. They were my people. They were the people I love. Nothing going on there but talking about fishing. Great plug makers there. We had Luke from Z-Belts was there. He sold out. We also had the gentleman from Gear Up. He was there with his wife. I mean, everybody was selling everything there. Not only because they had product there, these are the top products out on the surf fishing market. I mean, there were Bill Wetzel was there, Bill Jacob, who ran everything. I mean, it was fantastic. One of the best times I ever had. I set up a live stream booth. If you guys were there, you saw it. We were giving away a Van Stol 250 bailless. That's a VSX. That's the X Series model, top of the line. We were selling waffles. So we call it a waffle because I don't keep any of those proceeds. Everything went donated to the Montauk Surf Association, which we were very happy to do that for them. Excellent people. All right, let me continue here. This is when the shades come off and the glasses come on because I gotta read. All right, let's start off over here. Honey, you wanna move the screen so I can see the names? Yeah, she's coming. She's just a little late. You know how it is with women. They gotta put an extra piece of mascara on their face. How you doing, honey? Welcome back. Is your mic working?
Let me see if I'm...
Yeah, it works. Okay, so let me start off by saying, Tom Hood, how was the MSA? You just heard me all about it. It was beautiful. Thanks for coming on, Tom Hood. Danny D. Morales, I met you. Daddy, what's up, my brother? Joe Albanese. What's up, my brother? Joe Albanese, the president of the Hudson River Association, which I am a part of. We were at the river just a few hours ago. I brought my friend Eddie, who is on Instagram. Check him out. We'll always have it posted on the bottom of this video. Moran Saxatilis. Saxatilis. There it is, the wife correcting the English. As usual, I used to call it, honey, can you put on the night light? And she used to say to me, what are you talking about? I said, put on the light. Oh. She's like, what are you talking about? Finally, she says to me, no. It's turn on the light. See, I grew up in a household where my parents were foreigners. They were foreigners. Their English wasn't good. So instead of saying, turn on the light, they would say, Eric, put on the light. And I would put on the light.
I think they said open.
Open the light. Yeah, they said one of those. It wasn't correct, though. But when I got to my wife, after, 30 years of my life of put on and open the light, I finally learned how to say it the right way. Turn on the light. Yes, darling, turn on the light. Let me continue. Mario Gandini, Gelso Pascarelli, James Flynn, Melvin Madrid, my brother, was at the show also. So was Gelso. How you doing, Gelso? NorCal Cat. Yeah, boy, what's up, everyone? Woo! There's my mommy. Mommy, how you doing, Mom? My mommy's out there watching me. Her son, her first son. She loves my brother just as much, but she's not going to miss Mr. Poseidon, I could tell you that. DNYC, I met you, buddy. What's up? Carl Graham Lee. Whew. Okay. Who else do we got? RD Custom Plug Surf Fishing. Hey, buddy, what's up? We got a buddy of yours here, and I know you know who he is. Let's continue on that. Outcast, Tommy S. Craig Harkness. What's up? Oscar L. Baera's been here since the beginning. Brock 308, Gelso, he said, and Alan Waters. You have to open the lights to see the spoofs. That's right, Alan! The spoofs. There you go, my brother. All right. So enough of that. I want to thank everybody for coming to the show today. Once again, don't forget, if you're watching for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. The show runs every week. We've been doing it for 2 years. Where have you been? Right now, I want to introduce one of the best surf fishermen I know, but not only that, There's another couple of surprises coming. And what's up, Kevin Maltosa? And another couple of surprises coming that we're going to talk about on the show with him. This is going to be a great show. So first off, let me start off by saying, let's introduce Eddie. That's, I'm getting aired out here. Mr. Saxatilis is here today.
Mr. Saxatilis.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Everything good? What's up, man?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, you don't know.
Put the headphones on, or?
Sure, you can put them on. Yeah, I like you to put them on. That's my fault. You're not in the studio every day, so I should have told you about that.
How does my accent sound?
Oh, your accent. Let me tell you something about accents. There wasn't a woman I met that I didn't love who had an accent. Now, I'm not saying you're a woman, but your accent is just fine, Eddie. You're a dynamite guy. I met you today.
Is it good? Can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear. Oh, so good. Bring it in closer. Pull the mic to you. Pull the whole thing. The whole thing.
There you go.
Look. The whole thing. Attaboy. There you go. That's it, buddy. Now you're set. Look at that smile, man. You're the man. What do you need, honey? Okay, we'll bring.
A little lower.
What's that?
Music a little lower.
A little lower? You got it, sweet.
A little bit, yeah. I can hear it pretty loud. It's like a dance club in here.
I'm telling you. It's enough of that. All right. So, buddy, what's up, man?
Cool. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, man. Cheers, my brother. We love Poland Spring water. God bless America, baby.
Mine's orange juice.
All right.
Yeah, it worked out. Finally worked out. We've been trying to have me to come down.
Yeah, I was trying to have him to come down. And the nice thing was, I explained to him, I said, listen, I really want to have you in studio. And the guy was like, great, I'm working my way there. I'm going there. I could stop by and do it. You don't know how excited I was. In studio is always the best for me. I get very excited when I hear somebody's going to be in studio because I get to meet them personally. And also, we didn't have to feed back and
doing over,
man.
FaceTime.
Tough. It sucks.
But yeah, I've been watching your show. I'm a fan. I love that you do like a bunch of giveaways.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
everybody
And
loves the
some
giveaways.
good
Yeah,
giveaways.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rob, you mentioned he was in the chat. He was nice enough to.
This is RD Lures he's talking about, guys.
Yeah,
RD Custom
I mentioned I was
Lures.
coming down. He was like, Eddie, I'm gonna give you some lures for the
Put
giveaways.
you up here.
So,
Just put them right up here and with your hand in back of it so we can get a nice sharp picture. Put this one up first, one at a time.
Yeah.
So what's that baby called right there?
They're both pencils.
They're both pencils,
top
okay.
water lures. Yeah, this one's a really tiny one. It's a small, for like really light tackle.
Sure.
It's like it's less than an ounce.
Got it.
For,
Good stuff.
And another one here.
And there you go. These are RD Custom Lures. Guys, if you don't know who he is, I was at the Rhode Island Surf Day show.
I was going to give away his fishing spots, but he was nice enough to.
Yeah, well, you
I'm
gave
not
him
gonna
to
do
me,
that.
so no, he didn't give me anything. Don't worry, Rob. He's not like that. When I asked him, he said, well, I have to go through Rob, and you have to come up with $1 million. I was like, forget about it. Keep the spots. So anyway, yeah, he's here today. He's got some nice lures. Put him up on the overhead a little bit over here.
You can do that. And
There we go. Look at these beautiful lures. We got some, put the custom plug there. You're going to get a sticker with that also. So you got RD Custom Lures. This guy does produce quality stuff. I bought some lures from him. I gave away one of his lures. Really, really nice stuff.
And since the show is always like, there's a bunch of giveaways. And, I don't make lures. I don't have anything.
I got something for you guys. He told me he's going to bring by some lures for giveaways, but he actually came by with something better. Now, we're going to talk about it further in the video. This guy's an artist. He loves to collect collectibles, fishing collectibles, and this is what he wants to give away. He came up to me and said, I'm going to give this away. And I was like, no, you can't do that. But he does collect these. He says, no, we're doing it. And go ahead, show him on the camera there.
I mean, I'm only giving it away because I have another one.
Yeah, there you go.
But this is one of my favorite.
Tell him about this
vintage magazines. These always look good, framed up for your man cave. And
so go ahead. So where did this magazine actually come from? Why is this such an important magazine?
Well, it's not that it's important per se, but it's an outdoor life from 1956. It's just the artwork on the cover.
Beautiful, man. Look at the guy hanging out there. That is definitely
It's
right
like,
there.
chilling there, smoking a pipe. He's already got his fish. His buddies are trying to catch something. And it's at night, all surf castles, night shift. So it's my favorite cover.
This is really something else. When I saw it, I was like, can I keep it? Then I said, no, the guy brought it. So this is a giveaway, another one for today. And I think that's it. You have a picture you were showing me? The picture you're going to show now is kind of famous.
It's not famous. It's just, I was trying to think of things that kind of relate to the page, which is, collectibles, vintage magazines, old Surfcaster, art or whatever. But, I had this. I have a bunch of stuff. I collect all kinds of stuff. But I thought this was cool. Right. And this is a vintage, it's a Montauk postcard.
Very nice. I'm going to put your camera on direct. You could put it right up on there.
Yeah, 1961. You can see,
There you go. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. So a couple of gentlemen fishing, right?
Montauk, and you can see.
Here's the cool part. Now there's an inscription at the top. It says 1961, and somebody sent that out. Now, if you're collectible of stuff like this, which you should be, it's dynamite stuff to have.
Yeah, but you can see the guys with the the plug bags.
Right.
In 1961.
And you know what's cool? That stamp is only 4 cents, buddy.
Yeah, and it's Lincoln.
Yeah. Nice, man. I appreciate that.
So you can do it today or on another show.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do it. This is really nice of you to do that, and I got a little surprise for you too, but I'm saving that for the end of the show. Definitely. Thanks, buddy.
My contribution.
Thank you so much for that. Put that right here on the side. And also, guys, from Mr. Poseidon, I did tell you that Jonathan Smith, right, honey?
Yes.
Jonathan Smith sent this over from California. Last week, you guys voted on which plug you wanted to get to me to give away, and it was between the purple one and this beautiful red one. I'll put the overhead. It's a little easier to see. So there it is. Look at this beautiful metal lip. Basically, this is going to be just under the water, very, very slow, and every once in a while, a nice little twitch.
Kind of like a spoof.
Yeah, kind of like a spoof. Yeah, it is kind of like a spoof, honestly. A spook. Anyway, so let's keep going right now. Let me start off. Honey, you got that question here for me? Oh, yeah. I sat down for hours. No, okay, just relax, everybody. So I want to start off by saying, again, I'm happy you're here at the show. We're ready to start talking about some good stuff, and I want to ask you right now, how you doing today? Everything is good?
Everything's good.
It's a beautiful thing. We're going to eat after this show like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, so, people will stop calling me. I still have people thinking Marone Saxatilis is my name.
Right, I know. I thought that too.
His name is Eddie.
Yeah, and I think it was my wife who said, "You idiot, that means striper. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So anyway, all right, let me start off by saying, how did you start fishing? How did this all start out for you, buddy?
You know what? It's funny because I didn't fish until 2008 when I moved back from Hawaii. I used to live in Hawaii. And just met a buddy, who used to largemouth fish, freshwater. Oh yeah, the camera.
Yeah, I like you looking at them.
It's kind of loud, my voice in my head.
Hold
just
on.
A little bit.
I think you're number 3. Is this it? Is this lower now?
Yeah, I think that's good.
It's good? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
But anyway, so he just took me fishing, I learned it with him.
Right.
And mostly just freshwater. I just, largemouth bass. We even started doing like tournaments and,
nice.
Card top tournaments. And then you mentioned you're Greek, right?
Yes. My background is Greek.
Yeah, one day, there's this deli near my job, and I used to talk to the guys there about fishing and whatever. And then he's like, "Yo, Eddie, come in here. Let me show you something."
Yeah.
And I never even heard about a striped bass until then. And then he brings me to the back, and there's like a big freezer there, and then he opens it up, and there's like a 30-pounder in there. I was like, holy shit, what is that? And like he literally said, "Oh, I got this at the canal." And I didn't know what the canal was. This is 2008. So he just, literally showed me on the map. "Oh, just go here, go under this bridge and do this, do that." And I bought a setup, and I literally went down there and like by myself at night, like didn't know anything, didn't know what to use, whatever, and my first time down there, I kept casting and I hooked into a keeper. That was like my first striper ever, and that's basically how I I got into striper fishing.
Right.
Was at the canal. I started fishing there. It took me a couple of years to eventually learn how to like actually fish down there, and get to jigging and all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically how I started. Fished the canal for many years, mostly at night.
Sure, of course.
I wasn't fishing.
Now, I want to ask you, I know you told me that we were talking in the car how fun it is or how exciting it is when we take these long journeys and we're going through tough spots.
That's exactly, there's a transition point. I like to say, like, I learned striper fishing even when I was fishing down at the canal in the beginning.
Right.
I was basically fishing, I don't know, 60% of the time there, and I was exploring a little bit, other spots. But it was so, the fish were big, and you don't have to do anything. You kind of park right there, but I got pretty good at it. I was jigging at night, and met some good people. But it was missing something. Like,
right.
If you just fish, if you just want fish, like big fish, fine, go to the canal. But that's why some people like to say, oh, the canal is. I like the canal. I think the canal is kind of misunderstood. For catching fish, it's fine, but it's just missing other things that involves surf casting. The adventure, the exploring, the thing. So I kind of I met two buddies down there, Josh and Timmy.
Right.
And we got along, and they had the same mindset of like, let's get out of here. Let's find other places to
right.
fish. Let's start exploring. Just kind of go into tough to get areas. And,
sure.
And then get into the wetsuit and all kinds of stuff. And so maybe like 3 years ago, I kind of stopped fishing there. Not because I hate the canal.
Of course not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that I loved what you just said, and we talked about this earlier. I couldn't wait to talk about it with everybody, and that is that you go out to these places, it's great. Like when I go to the rivers, I'm using bait. So I'm basically casting out, I'm just hanging out in the same spot. But going out and venturing, like when I go to Montauk, people will say to me, why do you go to Montauk all the time? They don't get it sometimes. I love to go venturing. I love to walk. Bill Wetzel was actually the first one that told me, hey, listen, if you're not going to find any fish there, I'm going to let you speak. Any fish there, pick it up and start walking.
Right. Yeah, so that's another thing about the canal is like sometimes you're fishing because you kind of want to be by yourself. Mm-hmm. You want solitude. You want to like think about, whatever. Or you just want to, adventure, and unfortunately, I think after Instagram, the canal became more and more and more crowded. I used to fish down there by myself.
Wow.
A while ago, there's nobody around, and or even, there's a thing too that I don't want to say I'm on no time or anything.
Right.
That's not the case at all. But even back, I don't know, maybe 2012, 13, people were kind of doing the same thing. So like, if you're fishing at night, everybody was jigging, and you could jig, 3, 4, 5 guys, shoulder to shoulder. Right. If you know what you're doing, everybody's timing is correct.
Sure.
You can just shoot the shit, talk to them, and everybody's jigging at the same time. Now you go down there, there's a guy jigging, there's a guy throwing something.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
And then in the morning, it's just a war zone.
Yeah. I wanted to say to you about, correct timing. People say, what do you mean correct time? Just throw it out there. No. What he's saying is if you're going with friends and you're there with 4 or 5 guys, this has a huge current. So you can't wait for this guy to throw out and then he's reeling in and then you throw over his line. So timing is maybe you might throw first and then he'll throw second. So everybody's coming down like this together.
Especially if you're jigging. And yeah.
Exactly.
And I mean, you have to know exactly what it is. And I'm gonna if you're jigging a canal, don't pump your rod too much.
Yeah, right on.
There's a thing like I learned.
I don't know, so I'm listening.
You want to let your jig just kind of roll on the bottom. You just subtle bumps. And you kind of start getting to feel a difference between a bite and then, like the bottom. But you're gonna catch more fish if you just don't, like I see people pumping wicked hard.
Wicked pumps, yeah.
And just let it roll on the bottom. With the right, you have to have the right size, the right weight, depending on the current. But
depending on the current, correct. That is awesome. So now I want to ask you, do you have other areas? Now, I don't want you to tell me the areas, but obviously you go to other areas other than the canal, right?
Yeah, now I fish all over the place.
Right, right. I know you fish in Connecticut and Rhode Island, in your home state of Massachusetts.
Yeah, mostly Mass, from like the North Shore to the south border. But I fish Rhode Island a lot. But I love exploring. I love going to a new spot.
It's a beautiful thing.
Somewhere you have never been before.
Yeah.
Just like literally just looking at the map, maybe this place. And you start identifying what kind of types of structures you're looking for.
Exactly.
And then you go and you check it out. And the main thing is you have to go to a spot many times to be able to actually learn that spot. And figure it out when the fish is gonna be there, or and how to fish that, because even my main spots, sometimes you can go one day and you catch nothing, and then the next day different conditions, the water, and the fish will be biting. So
all right, so I love hearing stories about fishing, so I'm gonna continue with you still. So now, I've seen you catch some cannons, bro. Bro.
I get lucky.
Hey, honey, you want to put up a couple of those pictures of Moran Sectilis, or Eddie, we should call him?
I did pretty good.
Yeah, you did good, brother. I love this picture. Look at this. I know you guys have seen this on Instagram, but here's what I want to get to in this picture.
That fish was probably my biggest fish ever.
Jeez, that's a huge fish. And you know what? For some reason, you're not looking up at the camera, but I see your cheeks popping, and I think there's a smile under there. You know what I mean?
So I was just lucky that there was a guy. I was by myself, and it was funny because, we're going to get into arrowheads later, but you can see the pictures during the day. And I I don't fish during the day that much. Only when I fish too long and I fucking
you end up in the daytime
for the morning. So that day, it's a curse and a blast, because one of the spots I fish where I find arrowheads, it's a long walk. I have to walk. And that day I found one. And if I find one, I get focused on finding more.
Right.
So it took me forever to get to this spot. And I had gotten there late already. So it was maybe like 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
So then as I'm walking, I find one, and I'm like, now I'm really looking for more.
Right.
And it took me close to 2 hours to get to the spot. The sun was rising, so that fish was a morning bite.
Wow.
And only because I was like focused on finding arrowhead, and maybe that worked out because I took so long to get there that when I got there, the fish, there was like a...
I also want to mention in this picture, what I liked about the picture most, the handling here, brother. Explain something about the handling here rather than just picking it up straight up and and what you're using. You're not using a boga there.
No, I never. I don't know how much that fish weighs, or how big it was. I don't have
50
a boga.
plus, brother. Go ahead.
Who knows? It doesn't matter. But I just use those plastic grippers most of the time. That fish, I landed in the water. I lifted up a little because I wanted to try and get a picture of the whole fish. But there was an old guy.
And he took it for you.
Yeah, he saw me landing it. So I was like, hey, buddy, please, can you take a picture? And then he came over and handed my phone.
What a great picture, man.
But so classic. One thing I don't like to do is to tell people how they should do or act, or, I hate when on Instagram people attack other people, like, hey, don't lift.
Yes, I get a lot of that.
You have to lead by example.
Scolded.
Just do the right thing, and people are gonna look at you, and
that's right.
That's it. So, but most of the time, if you land a big fish, especially, try to keep it in the water. Don't lift it vertically. It's not.
You save the fish, man.
Yeah, you just
You're a very, very, I should say, a conservationist. You do care very much about the striped bass, the livelihood, and for future generations, because we also talked about that.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I do my part. That's all I can do. You know, I try to, you know, share
Right.
knowledge when I can. I have, you know, like NorCal.
Cat,
and,
yeah. Orlando. Right?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's another guy who Call of the Surf. I forgot his name. Sorry.
That's okay.
But he's the one. Him in Orlando came up with the catch and release crew a couple of years ago, which was a nice, you know, just a way of sharing knowledge and trying to educate people.
They have rules and regulations that they go by.
It's not rules and regulations. It's just information.
Right. It's information, correct.
To pass around. Like, hey man, this what
it's
you
good.
should do.
It's good though. I like that.
You know,
I like that. I have those. All right. So you mentioned also about your canal year, stories about fishing the canal. Honey, want to show some other pictures of him?
We have this one.
We have this one right here. Is this also at the canal? This is a nice fish too, man. It's underwater. That's a big fish, dude.
And none of those fish are in the canal.
Oh, none of them.
No.
Excellent.
No,
That's good.
I haven't fished the canal
in a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I used to fish there a lot. I love the canal. I just.
But you love Solitude more. You like to have.
I fish by myself probably. I don't know, 80% of the time,
sure.
70% of the time. I like going by myself.
I like too,
but
buddy.
I fish with Rob a lot. I fish with like Timmy and Josh. I have like most surf casters. Because they don't want to share the
spots, of course.
So they fish with like only a couple of people.
Sure, they know the ones that are not going to go out and blow it.
Yeah, but I like by myself fishing,
right.
Especially because I like looking for arrowheads, and most of my friends are like, Daddy, stop picking up rocks. Because I'm always falling behind when we're walking somewhere. They're like, they look back and like I'm looking at the ground. So, but yeah, I fish by myself, and that one, I think so. That fish, I think it was right before my cutty hunt trip last year, which kind of sucked because we got into a really nice bite.
Yeah.
And I was going to cutty hunt on a Friday. And on Thursday night, I went fishing, and from fishing, I was gonna go straight to the ferry,
right,
and then go to cutty hunt, and we found some really good fish. And then we went to cutty hunt, and it was all schooling.
You know,
I almost took the ferry back.
It's happened to me before, where my friends says, "Come on, we're gonna catch bigger ones there," and I'm happy if I'm catching 23, 24 inch fish.
It's a different, experience, but
they take me away, and then we go to the other spot, and boom, you're happy now, huh? Catching 23, 24 inches wasn't good enough for you. But I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Also, I have here exploring and finding new areas to fish, which we talked about. Getting out there and finding new areas. You going to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, just, if you're not exploring, you're missing out a lot of the fun. That's like half of, I don't know. For me, it's like that feeling you get when you're somewhere new, like you have, like it's not, it's kind of like, or your senses are enhanced.
I love it. I love it.
You don't know what's gonna be around that rock, and so that for me, it has been.
Bill Wetzel put me onto that in the beginning when I went out with him. Kept telling me you got to go explore new areas. Yeah, you never know. Right. And I followed him. I followed what he did. Always. When you go out with Bill Wetzel, guys, get ready. You're gonna be walking, but it's worth every single rock that you pass. I'm telling you right now.
Two ways you can improve catching fish with the net rig.
What is that?
Sorry, the other computer went on.
Yeah, and sometimes it sucks. You waste the night. You fucking.
I get it. I get it, buddy.
It's still fun.
It's still fun, no doubt about it. Also, we have here the night fish, the experience of going night fishing.
Yeah, night fishing. Like I said, I don't, because I have a family, I work.
Of course.
So basically,
a lot of us.
Most of the only free time I have is at night.
Right.
But night fishing is just the whole, you're alone, you're looking at the stars. I have so many stories.
Oh my goodness.
I was fishing once, and this is not a joke, and you can look it up in the paper.
Sure.
I wasn't deep. I was maybe, waist deep in the water.
Sure.
And I was by myself.
Just to let you know, at night, I don't go in past my ankles. Go ahead.
I was by myself, and clear night, everything. And then all of a sudden, the ground started shaking. And I heard a loud boom before.
Yeah.
and it scared me so much that I left the water. I sat down. I was like, I thought it was I thought we were being attacked basically.
Wow.
And it was an earthquake.
Oh shoot.
Oh shoot, dude.
I don't want to tell the town.
Yeah, don't tell the town. Don't say.
But it was in Massachusetts.
Right.
Oh,
It was maybe a couple of years ago, and I was fishing and I felt an earthquake. You're gonna know because there's not many strong ones, but
Right. I felt one in my life in New York back in 1981 or 82. We had a little tremor. I was sleeping at night. I just felt the big
You weren't
vibration and the
fishing.
sound. And we walked out front. I think it was 4 a.m. And we walked out, and all the neighbors came out and were like, what was that?
it's scary.
It's scary,
but
dude.
it's like the adrenaline rush.
It's
too.
the adrenaline rush, brother.
But yeah, fishing at night you see all kinds of stuff.
Right.
From coyotes. One time I was.
Oh, I could tell you a story, too, but
Yeah,
I'll save that
go
one for
ahead.
another. No, it's okay.
I came up once on like a half-eaten deer that was fresh. Like I touched it. It was warm.
Wow.
And coyotes all around, but
Sure.
just the nature.
That's
you
part.
know.
Yeah, that's how part of it is. Like you mentioned coyote. I was in Rhode Island last year or the year before, and I had gone out fishing with Bruce Bain and also the Wolf of Rhode Island. We went out that night, and I'll never forget, I was climbing on the rocks, literally climbing on the rocks. As I was making my way up so I can get around to where they were, there was a hole. And I looked in the hole, and I saw these 2 little eyes, and I thought it was a cat. And as I'm sitting there, it just darted out and turned and ran. It was a coyote.
I got surrounded.
Did
once.
you?
Yeah.
Stay away from those deers.
I don't know if they were after me or not, but this was, I think, February, and I wasn't fishing. I was looking for arrowheads.
Arrowheads.
At night, and I didn't know that. I think February is their mating season.
I see.
So they're all active. They're all,
Sure.
going crazy. And this particular area that I go to has a lot of coyotes.
Wow.
And when I get there, it was a particularly warm night in February. That's why I went, because
Sure.
And it was complete fog. Like you couldn't see.
Oh, my
I couldn't,
goodness.
like, if you were in front of me, I couldn't see you.
I believe you that when you say that, because in February, when you get fog, it's because of the temperature change so quick from
That's what it
cold
was. It
to
was
hot.
a warm night. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's warm. Let me go.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see anything, and then I start hearing them. Maybe, I don't know. I'd say, they weren't too far away. A bunch of them.
Yeah, right.
Just, I've heard them before. I'm just gonna keep. So I'm looking around. I'm walking, and then I don't know. 15 minutes later, they were all around me.
Wow.
But I couldn't see where they were. But they were like making all those
Sure.
And I was like, I just grabbed my knife and I was like, let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
So
I hear you,
started.
man. No doubt.
So I left.
No doubt
But that
about
was the
it.
closest. You
Especially
hear
if
them
it's
all the time.
mating season with any of these
Yeah,
animals.
so again, I don't know if they were after me.
Right.
But
Right.
there were so many in that area, and they couldn't see anything. And maybe I just walked near an orgy or something.
Sorry about that. Okay.
But so that was pretty funny. But you see
like
all kinds of stuff.
all
at night,
kinds of stuff.
just,
I just saw a fox back when we went in
in the
Jersey.
in the canal, you hear like so many crazy stories there. I've seen, I had a guy land, those sunfish.
Yeah.
I was fishing a while ago. Some guy was
Yeah.
bait fishing
Yeah.
at the jetty, the East End jetty, and he hooks into something. And I'm thinking he's like, he hooked bottom or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes, like he wasn't really doing anything. And then he started, bringing it in. I was like, what the hell does he have? And he lands, I don't know, a 200-pound, one of those sunfish, probably foul hooked the thing. And I was like, what the hell? And then that same night, my buddy who was fishing eels, were throwing eels, outside. Somehow, a seal grabbed his eel,
Oh, shoot.
and he's like, what the? And then it went zzz.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, like, what do I do? I don't know. You're gonna get spooled, and he got spooled. And he could,
Seal.
the seal jumped twice, so he could
Wow.
see it was a seal, and he was just holding, and he just his whole spool just went.
Holy smokes!
I don't know if the seal grabbed again.
Probably
and the
did.
same night.
Especially if it was an eel, it might have grabbed it.
Maybe it grabbed it. Yeah.
Wow.
But he got spooled. The other guy lands a sunfish. You know, and there's all kinds of crazy stories.
Excellent. Yo, I like that. I like hearing stories like that. I never heard anybody catch a seal till right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first
Oh, he didn't catch it.
He didn't catch it, right. He hooked it.
He got spooled.
Hopefully that seal is out there doing
But I
his,
see them, you know, when I'm fishing, you know, you say you're in your ankles, but I've had seals come up right next to me.
Yeah, right. I've seen it all the time. I've gotten startled where I'm walking on the beach and I'm looking in the ocean and I heard a sound and I turned up and it was right next to me laying on the beach sunbathing. He got nervous when I was there because he couldn't go forward. I was there. So I walked away nicely. Obviously, we're good people.
There's a spot I go, there's always those sand sharks. I don't know, but they can get
big.
They
I've
bump
caught
into you.
And I'm going to tell you, last year in Demo Point in Long Island, Demo Point, go there. I dare you to go there. So I was there and I'm fishing and I felt a little bump hit me. So I was like, what is that? What did I hit? I felt something. But then as I was fishing, I saw an eye go. I don't want to tell you what happened after that, but I don't think there's any human being on the face of the earth that got out of the water faster that night.
Yeah, I posted a couple of videos on my page. And there's one rock I go, and you know, every night there's like 3 or 4, and they just keep circling.
And they
that
keep
rock.
circling you. Yeah, and they circle.
But they don't do anything. They're harmless.
They don't,
But
exactly.
if you're in the water, you know, and
they bump you,
yeah,
man.
and
They
you
just
look, and
they just want to know.
You know, they're 4 foot long.
They're long. They're big. They're big sharks. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, so let's continue. I want to ask you now. We're going to change up a little bit. We got here where it's. How did your Instagram page got started? Because I know you're very popular on that.
The page was basically just a way for me to, you know, I have my personal account, my family stuff, and
Right.
again, I'm addicted to fishing, so I was posting, you know, fishing stuff on my page, and you know, so I was like, let me start something just for my fishing, you know, and basically it's just stuff I like. So
Right.
I never, you know, I never wanted it to grow or to become anything, and it's just I was finding interesting things and I was just sharing them with people.
Right on.
You know,
Right on.
Like again, like old magazines, old vintage photos. You know, I like history, anything I find about art. You know, everything related to striped bass.
I like that you know. I like Instagram. I like YouTube.
It's like a visual.
I'm telling you, buddy, it's the best thing. You know, you take a picture, you can put it on there, show your fish, and then release it.
Yeah, and I wanted the page to be sort of like I wanted to be able to go. People can go back and like just kind of go through the page because there's always something they can find that's interesting, even if they missed it because it's older, you know. So it's like a gallery, you know. It's
I went through your stuff. I couldn't go anymore because there was so much on it. But some of the stuff you have on there, beautiful. Between the arrowheads, your vintage stuff that you collect, your artwork.
It changed over time. So in the beginning, it was just, you know, other people I was featuring, not featuring, but I was like reposting, you know, a nice catch.
Sure.
And at some point, I got into arrowheads, so I started, you know, sharing information on that. Just
Of course.
It's basically whatever I think it's interesting, and I try to like share with people. But then recently, I have never posted my own fishing.
Right.
And I started showing a little bit more of my
Yeah, because
fishing.
I heard before you caught a couple of whales, man. I
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
did.
see that. No doubt about it.
But also you run out of like, there's only so many old vintage stuff, you know, out there.
Right.
So it kind of morphed. Into
You're the only guy I know that really, I mean, look, I don't want to put anybody down or anything, but this gentleman here, Eddie, he posts a lot of vintage stuff, and I love vintage, man. I love vintage so much. You post a lot of pictures of old fishermen. I don't mean old, but just old pictures of fishermen.
Yeah, just
Those are cool pictures.
They're cool.
That's
the
like the
reason
one
why.
you got, that the giveaway. That's nice, man.
Yeah, that's a Montauk. Yeah,
And that's a Montauk
it's
postcard.
kind of like, yeah. I mean,
Absolutely. All right, so let me continue. We just talked about that. Art, old photos, and magazines. So you just mentioned that. Okay. Arrowheads. How did you find your first arrow? How did you even know what it was? Because me, I look down at the bottom and all I see is pebbles and rocks.
It's hard, but it's not impossible. You know, you just most people, they see me posting, they think, oh, you're so lucky, or you know, you just
no, you're not lucky, buddy, because you post them all the time. So that's
no, it's
not
not
luck.
that it's luck, but it's, you have to do you can do it if you do a little bit of research. That's
Right.
all there is. You know, it's all about learning.
Look, it's research too, because now, you know, I knew Eddie
You
was
can
going to be.
go ahead. Go
I knew Eddie was going to be on the show. So the last few weeks I went fishing, and I go fishing legally, guys. Can't fish in New Jersey, and you can't fish in New York right now till the season opens. So basically, I spent about an hour of my fishing time looking for arrowheads and spears, because I'm going to find one. And I want to give it to Eddie when he comes on my show. But I looked so hard. I also met...
I thought about bringing one to give
that's
away,
okay.
but I didn't want to, like, that moment when you find one.
I know.
I don't want to steal that from anybody. Like,
Of
anyone
course.
that's interested in trying to find one. Like, when you literally pick up something that's...
I'm going to find one. One day I'm going to
So
find
I didn't
one.
want to... But, you know, if you want to find one, first you got to look up, you know, where in your area there were
Right.
settlements. Like, in
Listen to this carefully. If you're interested in arrowheads or spearheads, looking to find them, listen to this part. Go ahead, Eddie.
But, you know, and this goes back thousands of years. You know, people were living here for about 12,000 years. But you just, whatever state you're in, you know, first you look up, you know, where were known settlements. And then you have to try to learn which types of rocks they were using. Like, they're called lithics.
Okay, I don't know.
Because they didn't
that.
use anything, right? So if you just narrow it down to a few types of material.
So you know when you see that color or that type
the
of
easiest
rock.
one's the quartz, right? The white quartz.
Yes.
They use that a lot. So you're not looking at everything. So first and there's rhyolite, there's quartz.
You just taught me something.
Yeah, because, you know, if you look at everything.
I look at everything.
So you start narrowing down the location, which types of materials they were using.
I went fishing with Lorewalk a few weeks ago, and I picked up one. And I go, dude, I think this is a rock. And he looked at me at his spear.
They're fairly recent. They didn't start using bow and arrows until maybe 2,000 years ago.
See, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, everything else was like a dart. They call it a dart.
Okay.
Or a spearhead or a knife.
That's not the same lure we're using, is it?
No.
No, it's not.
So, you know, it's, you know, if you do a little bit of research, reading, and you start learning the...
Honey, are we getting sound? Is everybody getting sound?
For a moment there, somebody was saying no sound, but then it looked like it came back.
It says no audio, John Francisconi.
But then it came back.
Is it back, guys? It's back, Edwin Rivera. Yes, that could be the internet.
Yeah.
We've been having problems. I went out to the store earlier. Nothing was working in any of the stores. We came home. Our landline wasn't working. Thank God we had Eddie here, Moran Sexatilis. A little bit of a tech worked on it with my wife, and we got Wi-Fi going. So we're on the net. So that might have been it. Sorry, guys, about that.
A little spotty, I don't know.
All right, so we talked about here arrowheads. How did you find your first? How did you find them? Did you tell us how you found
I sat down on a rock, and I'm just taking a little break, and I look down, and it's literally by my foot. It's just...
Sorry, guys. They're saying that the audio is out again.
All right, we're going to take a little reset here. Stand by, guys. Stand by. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's hope everything is right. Hold on. Back. We are back. We're sorry about that, guys. We reset it. Okay, Joe Benitez is giving thumbs up. Let's keep it going, Eddie. Let's keep it going.
Oh, the audio's back?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Sound
Can you
check,
hear me?
sound check.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ebeth, what's up, honey? Welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
I'm gonna keep the headphones
Somebody
off a
said
little
that-
bit
Yeah, okay, keep them off. Keep
because
them
there
off.
was that music.
Try something else. How about
I don't
that?
know what that is.
Can you hear me now?
With two-person view, he says.
Can you
That's
hear me
so
now?
Weird.
That camera angle is killing the audio. Ooh. How we doing, right? Is sound still off?
What about single?
Can you hear me now?
It's good. It says good.
Can you
James
hear me
Flynn
now?
says good. It is doing it
Can you
good.
hear me now?
Yep. Split screen. I'm not going to put the
So
screen.
then don't put the.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that on again. I'm sorry about that, guys. All right, we're on. I'm sorry about
Can you
that,
hear me
Eddie. Yep. You're loud and clear.
They didn't miss much. I don't have.
Okay, there you go. I love it, Eddie. Thank you.
But I just, I had a. I was saying, there's a few people on Instagram that
Right.
helped me out in the beginning.
Right.
There's always people that know way more than you, so you gotta ask for help. Kieran, like I was saying, the Connecticut Yankee. My first one, I showed it to him, and he immediately he's like, "Oh yeah, that's an." It was actually a knife. It was a rhyolite knife that I found, and then I just I get addicted.
Yeah, without a
So,
doubt.
But they're out there.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You just have to
Well,
spend
you got
time in
me
it.
into it as far as the last couple of weeks. I'm always looking down when I'm switching spots and I'm walking in the river. I got my light on. It's pointing straight to the ground.
Yeah, you said you were in the Housatonic, right?
Yeah, I was in the
they were there.
Housatonic over there.
If you want to find arrowheads, a few tips I can give you is, you got to think like they were thinking. Like they were always near fresh water.
Mm.
So their settlements, where they lived, basically,
Right.
was always around fresh water. So
Correct.
rivers,
Right.
lakes,
Yeah.
and if you're looking at the beach,
Yeah.
you want to look at like a river mouth that
Right.
connects to the ocean.
There you
right?
go.
You don't want to go to a sandy beach that there's no rocks, nothing.
Nothing.
You don't want to go to a place where there's big boulders and it's too complicated. You want like a medium gravel.
But if we're going for stripers, we're going with big boulders.
Yeah, we're going to boulder fields and throwing eels. But
Yep.
so another place that people find a lot of arrowheads is farm fields. So if
Right.
you can get permission for a farm field, especially farm fields near a river, and a lot of farms are by rivers.
Absolutely.
And what happens is
Fresh
when
water.
they till the ground, right, and they bring all that stuff up with those huge
Correct.
machines. Most of the time, those farms are located where maybe a village was, and they dig up with those machines the arrowheads, and then when they after the crop is collected or whatever, you just can walk the farm fields, and they'll be just sitting right on the ground.
Right.
After like a big rainstorm where it washes everything.
Absolutely.
So farm fields are a good place. River banks, if you want to find arrowheads, most river banks. If you're looking at the beach, make sure you're looking at marshes, like places near fresh water. Learn the types of rocks they use, so you're not looking at every little thing.
Right.
Learn the shapes. Learn, what does an arrowhead look like after it's being manipulated by,
Correct.
So
Yeah. Okay. So we got that pretty much down. I mean, we didn't all become professionals, but you guys got an idea of what you're looking for. Remember, again, you want to mention those stones that you that you can, pretty much say, okay, if I see anything brown, it's out. But if I see something white, look at it. See if it's a
Here, I'll
quartz.
show a picture.
yeah, white quartz. They use a lot of white quartz. Rhyolite. There's different types of rhyolite, but rhyolite, it's it's hard to explain what they look like, but it's like that purple. It
Show
has a
the
bunch of
picture.
little dots, and there's
See the picture I'm showing?
which one is that?
Yeah. Oh, there it
so
is.
that's That's a quartz. That's called a snap. That point is about 6,000. Actually, no, 8,000 years old.
My goodness, dude.
Yeah, 8,000.
8,000. Now, you're holding that in your hand.
Yeah.
Like a
Somebody
shark
made
tooth,
that
somebody said.
8,000 years
And
ago.
that's a sharpened down version of it, because what they did. This was these were valuable for them. So they would make one. They would use it, retrieve the arrow or the spear, and they would resharpen it and then resharpen it, resharpen. So that when that was originally made by them, it was much longer. So they keep resharpening. That was probably discarded. So that wasn't even used anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's pretty cool, man. That's amazing.
That's a quartz. Snap it. That one's also a quartz. That's one of, I think that one.
That was beautiful.
That one is, I think they lost that right after they made. If you zoom in on that, you can see.
It's such a nice point.
Yeah, that's one of my most perfect ones I have that I found.
Now, question to you. Here's a question from a guy who doesn't know anything about arrowheads and what they're worth and so on. So you found that one. When you find something like that, it's like a magazine. It's more newer than the other arrowhead you found because they sharpened the other one a few times. This one seems more original to what they sharpened it and it was ready to go. But you said it was discarded, right?
The other one.
Oh, okay. So the other one that was discarded was no more use. And they said no more.
Probably it was too short.
So when you find something like that, is it worth more money?
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Okay.
If it was the one that it's not sharpened down, that because they would stash arrowheads. They would, some people find, they call caches.
Okay.
But they would make a bunch somewhere, maybe in a village, and they would bury it or hide it, because these were valuable.
Right.
But people sell. I mean, I'm never gonna sell any of mine, but if you selling arrowheads, yes, one that's they call it like in its what's the term they use? I forgot. It's it's pristine. It's it hasn't been, maybe sometimes haven't even been used.
Right.
Maybe they made it, stored it somewhere, and got lost.
I told you earlier, I'm so amazed that to hold something like that and to say, wow,
older than the pyramids.
Yeah,
think about it.
That's amazing.
Think about it.
You taught me something else now.
The pyramids are about 4,000 BC, which is 6,000.
6,000, right?
2,000.
Correct.
And that one, the Snap It one, there's another picture of a Neville variant that I think I sent you. That one is also...
Frankie Fish, one of the subscribers, says, I get my arrowheads at Cabela's. Awesome. And Danny D. Morales says, resembles a shark tooth. Danny D. Morales says, I probably kicked those while walking. We all kicked those while walking. I guarantee it.
I guarantee people.
Oh, look at this one you got.
Yeah, that one's really old.
Wow.
But, and
what kind of rock is that?
That's a rhyolite.
Oh, wow.
But there's some other states where, if you really get into arrowheads, you kind of start realizing that here in the Northeast, it's, we got the low end of the stick. Like you go to the Western states or like the lower
Texas,
Missouri, they have what drives, how beautiful or how intricate is the material. And we don't have jasper here. We don't have those really glassy looking obsidian,
Were those easier to chip and create that sharpness?
They were easier to work with, but they were super strong.
Right.
And sharp. We do have, because they were trading. They were traveling all over the country, right? But here they had harder materials to work with. But you go to, some states.
Yeah, and most of the time they were down south because they were always going away from the winter.
Right.
So they were down there a lot.
Some they can be worth money. I think there was an arrowhead found in Western Mass, which was a Paleo Clovis point, which is the oldest. And that one's worth like, $12,000, $15,000.
Look, guys, when you're in the water and you hear that kind of money, look in the water. Try to find a paleo.
Yeah, but
They'll
paleo-
buy you a lot of Van stalls. You'll be so
Where do
happy.
you go,
If you
Mario?
find a Clovis paleo, that's a find.
Mario Gandini is asking, where do you reference the age of the arrowhead? What do you reference? How do you know?
There's a book, especially for New England. One of the best books you can buy is called. It's by Jeff. His name is Jeff Brodell. I have
Yeah,
on
go
my
ahead.
Instagram.
Show it up.
I can tell you the exact name, but they're all classified, because the styles changed over time. So, and funny enough, the older the stuff is, the more intricate and more beautiful it is for some reason. You would think they would get better with time, but so the paleo spear points and knives are the most beautiful, crafted,
and how did they craft these? With another rock, right? Is that the way they did it?
Many different stages, but they would start off making a preform. So they would find, like a big rock, and they would break it down and with a hammerstone, which is a rock that they use, and they would kind of roughly shape it,
of course,
and that would be called a preform.
And then it would go to the next Indian named Eddie and go, listen, I'm going to sharpen this, relax.
But after they made a preform, then they would use an antler, like a deer antler or a bone.
Right.
And that's when the napping kind of starts to, when you see all those flaking off the rock.
Yes.
That's made by pressure flaking with a bone or an antler.
Wow. Now, this is the first time I'm hearing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then some people do that nowadays.
So just remember, guys, if you ever see Mr. Poseidon by the side of a river with an antler and a rock in his hand, you know what he's doing.
It's called a New England typology.
There it is. Put it up to the camera right there, buddy.
Let me see if they can see.
Yeah, I'll get you on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Bring it in closer and put your whole hand. Yeah.
Just show that.
I messed it up. I'm sorry, Eddie.
But I mean, there's different books. There's Overstreet. It's called. Let me see here. But this one's it mainly focuses on New England. And see if you can hold it to the side.
Come to this way. This way. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Over your face. Now hold it there. Go back it. Back it. Oh, there's cameras. Let me see.
I see if you can do it.
Oh, these cameras kill me. They kill me.
It's
yeah, let's do the overhead here. I got you the overhead. I got the overhead. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Don't do this to me now.
That's a good one for reference.
New England typology. Sorry. So there you go. If you get this book, you can pretty much use your piece that you found, and hopefully you'll be able to identify it. And if you don't, give Eddie a call. Moran Sex Killers. You won't miss that one. There you go, buddy.
And I mean, and in the arrowhead world, it's a huge. This, not controversy, but like.
Right.
It's not accurate, right? So sometimes you find an arrowhead like, oh, is that this or is that that? Because sometimes they're similar, but a little bit of a difference. Like those two quartz ones that you have, they look similar, but they're thousands of years different. And that's, you can know which one is which because of the base. But anyways, it's...
Hold on, we're going to reset something. Just stand by, guys. Takes 2 seconds.
What, the audio?
It's good now, guys. Hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed. Hate these echoes. We're not on landline tonight because something went wrong with the internet, so we're on Wi-Fi. And I have such a star here on tonight. I hate this. I get so upset. Yeah. But anyway, no, you are a star. Don't say a thing. No, you're not. Bill Wetzel always says, I'm just a fisherman. I'm just a fisherman. No, you're not. You're a legend, brother.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just curious. It's good. Hi, Ebet. So sorry. We just reset it. Thank you, Ebet. Thank you for that. Keeping a tab. When you were in Hawaii, were you looking there also?
No, I didn't fish in Hawaii. I used to spearfish there. I did a little bit. Yeah, I moved there. Actually, I lived there twice. I moved there when I was 20.
Wow. You know what?
I lived in a surf camp for 8 months in a tent.
In a surf camp?
Yeah.
That's people who surfboard.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Kind of, yeah.
What a difference.
I used to live
Can
right
you
behind.
Can you see Moran Sectilis right now on a 40-foot wave? I got one! Get out of the way!
I didn't fish there either.
Yeah.
I wasn't like again.
Right.
I started fishing in 2008 when I moved back to Mass. But
Wow.
in Hawaii, I used to surf, skateboard, hike.
Before we get to the next topic, I just want to let you know, I'm thrilled right now, brother. You have a lot of great information, a lot of good stories, and you're always, and I'm telling you, I only know you a day now I met you. I've talked to you plenty of times on Instagram, but just you wow me, man. You are such a gentleman. I want to get on to the final topic of art. And that's where you got me, because I love art. You look at my room, I've designed everything.
Yeah, I saw.
And there's plenty more things I did. I did two things in my life. I fished, and guess, gentlemen, I did model railroading. I got into competitions. I was up in Boston area every year. Some of the top model railroaders are up there. I love doing it. I just love art. We're not going to talk about model railroading. Choo-choo. But I will tell you this, that I love art, and especially because of Moran Saxatilis, which is Eddie. I got into a gentleman by the name of John Rice.
John Rice it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that really portrays surf casting in his art, kind of accurately. You can a lot of his artwork. You can see if somebody's casting, he's casting the right way. He's got the plugs and the fish and the scenery kind of matches what you would see. But there's a lot of really good guys out there on Instagram.
Absolutely,
that I like, and
we mentioned Riverkeeper also.
Riverkeeper is really good. He's new to the scene. Like I just found out about him. He was really nice. He reached out to me one day. He's like, Eddie, I just want to send you. He sent me, one of his work.
I know.
Really
He told me,
And I like his style. We were talking about the graffiti kind of,
absolutely,
like a urban, like kind of like nighttime,
right
like,
on.
Like rats, and I love that stuff. He's like another look. You have the like John Rice, which is more classical.
Oh, John Rice, beautiful.
And then you have
check him out on Instagram,
there's
guys.
Different
John
styles.
Rice.
Yeah, there's different styles, and I try to anytime I find a new one, I try to post it. And
how do you feel about photography art? Because Rick Hernandez was at my booth yesterday, and he did such a wonderful job. There was a gentleman at the show, I forgot his name, we're going to kill me, but I bought an art piece from him. I gave it to Rick Hernandez. He was very happy. It was numbered, signed, beautiful. How do you feel about those pictures? You like that kind of stuff?
I don't think there's enough, right? Because there's not a lot of people taking really, because we're night shift guys. It's hard to take pictures at night. And
the worst.
It's so, but we need more really good guys taking good footage and good pictures. And especially with there's some people out there that do well.
Yeah.
I think. Let me see who does really nice good shots. The guy who edits the Surfcasters journal.
Zeno.
In Deep Outdoors. He's the editor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He takes some good shots at night.
Nice, it's tough at night, guys.
It's tough at night.
I suffer with that camera.
Because at night you need a slow shutter camera, so you can. But then you need a tripod.
Thank you.
A slow shutter.
That's the only way.
More light comes in.
That's correct.
And
imagine there's no movement.
There's no movement. It's really tricky to get good shots at night. But if you have somebody who's a friend of yours who maybe is a photographer and he wants to come with you and get some good quality.
That's a fact.
Images. That's
the way to do it.
But there's not a lot. You can see there's not a lot.
There's not a lot. Not enough.
Phones are getting pretty good too.
Yeah. Listen, I'm still excited that you're here. I'm very excited. We brought up pretty much all the subjects. Again, guys, stand by. We're going to be having that giveaway. This week's giveaway is this right here. And my wife will be announcing that very soon.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, too.
Yeah, this is what's coming now. I was getting to that. If anybody's got any questions, stick them out there now before I start charging you money for questions. So get them out there right now. Anybody got any questions? I know Alan Waters made a nice joke. He said, 8,000 years from now, people will be walking the beach looking for Van Stalls.
Yeah.
Alan. That was funny, dude. I laughed over here. 8,000-year-old Van Stalls. What a concept.
You know, it's funny that he won't be there.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that lasts time is stone.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, everything else, anything
Pretty much disintegrates.
If you know, that's why the pyramids are still there. That's why we find arrowheads, because it's stone.
Yeah, it's stone.
Nature will eat everything in less time than you think. You know, this whole
Amazing.
city, this whole town we're in right now, in I'd say 200 years, there'll be nothing left.
I was going to say at least 2,000.
No, the trees will start growing, the earth will start, you know, metal rusts,
Sure.
wood decomposes, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah, stone lasts forever. That's why you find this stuff.
Right. And plastic you mentioned.
Plastic lasts a long time too.
Yeah,
so-
it does. It will last. I heard
But
stories
it'll
of
start, yeah.
forever. Is that true? with
No,
plastic?
not forever. But you know,
Eventually it goes.
eventually it goes stone. You know, that's what lasts.
What about your gear?
Yeah, your gear, man. What gear do you use?
I use advanced toss.
Yeah, there you go. 8,000-year-old Van Stall found by
Yeah, I'm
Moran Sectilis.
Big fan of advanced toss. I mean, that's, you know, most of the time I'm in the water. You know,
Sure.
I'm literally in the water, right? So
Right.
And I go back and forth between a wetsuit and waders. Some spots I fish, you don't really need a wetsuit, so I just use waders.
Yeah, I hear you. At
but-
least you understand that. I know a lot of people that use wetsuits all the time, and I'm like,
I
dude,
wish it's safer.
it is safer when you're getting out there deep in water.
If
I
you
think
could
it's safer.
wear, I think one of the reasons why I haven't worn the wetsuit all the time is because I haven't got one that has a zipper. When I bought mine, it doesn't have a zipper in the back, so I have to kind of squeeze in
Oh
there.
my
It's kind of a
goodness.
pain in the
It
ass.
is, yeah.
It's a 5mm one.
It's 5 millimeters.
5, yeah. Which
That's
is
thick. My
for the summer is stuff, yeah. But
wow. I've gotten
it's fun.
3.5 millimeter. That's the highest I've gotten.
Yeah, but you're way more comfortable in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
safer if you fall in it.
I didn't know that. I knew that if you fell in, yes, you are safer. But
I use Van Stalls, and my rods are. I'm a big fan of Lemmy Glass.
Right.
I have GSBs.
I heard your favorite lure is a spoof.
a spoof. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, baby.
And I don't carry a lot of stuff either. I mean, I have
I'm the same way. I don't carry a
those
lot.
guys that
No.
have a bunch of
I
plugs
carry
and
12 lures with me at night, and that's it. Even if I have that.
Yeah, I just if you look at my page, you'll see I'm a big fan of there's a guy called John Sturp.
Yeah.
He makes this resin swimmers
Okay.
called they call the Explorer.
Oh, there you go.
But that's one of my favorite lures, my go-to. A lot of those big fish you saw were caught on that.
Right.
He doesn't make a lot of them. He's more like, I don't know, he's a kind of hobby, slash, he makes them once a year maybe on the winter. But I'm a big fan of needles and like a stick bait,
Yes.
like a shad. I'm not a big fan of metal lips.
You're not a big fan of metal lips, huh?
I mean, maybe my spots.
Metal lips, guys. There he is. I could tell you who is a big fan of metal lips. What's my friend in Staten Island, honey?
Kevin?
That's right, Kevin Maltoso.
Yeah.
He is the man. He is the man when it
A
comes to
jig
metal
with
lips.
the paddle tail too. Always gonna
Yeah.
have one.
I like, a lot of people here in the island don't like using gliders. I like gliders, man.
Gliders are really good.
Rhode Island, everybody's using gliders.
See, but the thing is,
Yeah,
every spot has a different.
Thank you.
You can't use this
Yep.
over there, and you have to be able to identify what's gonna work in that spot.
Correct.
I know Montauk for sure. Needles, darters,
Needles are
and
big,
bucktails.
darters are the gold over there.
Right.
I'm not giving away anything, guys. You got to know
You
that.
gotta learn how to identify what the water is doing.
Right.
And then you have to have a few lures that can cover everything.
And I want to say that what he's mentioning here, Bill Wetzel has mentioned to me while I was guiding with him. You have to identify. You have to know. You got to know those things. And if you don't know, go buy a spearhead book, and next week you'll find the spearhead. I promise.
That's fine.
But anyway,
but yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
Lemmy Glass and Vince Stahl, and I'm not a big fan of those fast action rods.
okay, I'm not a big fan of them either, even though I
should
have.
because you know my shoulders. You know, I like.
You got time, brother. You're a young man still.
But I feel like the faster rods, you gotta. It's like a finesse. You know,
It's a finesse, brother, because if you're using, you know, a lot of these, you know, I got rods that are fast action, and they're good rods. They're expensive rods, not because they're expensive that makes them, but they're good rods.
Yeah, once you learn them, then you don't have to put everything into your cast. It's
Correct.
Like it's like a skill.
It's
right?
a skill,
If you
bro.
try to put everything in, you know the lure is gonna just go straight down.
And a lot of times you'll crack your tip if you're not casting the right
Yeah,
way.
you-
You can't just fast it. You got to bring it into it and rip it.
I like a GSB or a.
I got a
old school
GSB.
blank, yeah.
Yep. And I also I love Century rods.
Centuries are good.
Oh
very
my God,
light, very
they're
thin, yeah.
such tough rods. Good stuff.
I feel, you know, I should be getting into some fast action.
You do feel that, like you said, that's more finesse because I'm out there and I'll be able to get the plug
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
less forgiving. Like if you have
And
a fast action, you have to have the right. Everything has to match. Like
Correct.
your
Correct, 'cause
reel,
I have a problem
your
sometimes.
line,
I'll throw
your lure. Everything
lure.
is more tight. You know, you have to have everything kind of like my setup. I throw, you know, like a 3 ounce, you know, heavy, you know, glider, and then it can go down to like a 1 ounce, and I can put everything into the cast, and it's still in a cast fire.
My faster action rods, I use all of them with the bucktails.
Yeah, bucktails.
I love it. I have total control. I feel everything. When I shift over and I go to a heavier lure, like a metal lip over here I feel that by the time I tug it and it move, it's just not working for me right. There is a finesse. You got to know what you're doing with those fast action rods if you're going to use a heavier lure. That's a fact because I've done it. It's not as
If
easy.
you're throwing something heavy with a fast action.
That's not.
You gotta stop halfway.
Thank you. Thank you. See, so you know, brother. So, okay. So we got Kevin Maltosa, ODM Evolution, loving it so far.
ODMs are good, yeah.
Yeah, they are good. I got a couple of ODMs myself, definitely. Okay, let me finish up here slowly because we're getting late. We're getting to 8:24.
What time is it?
It's 8:30 almost.
8:30?
8:25. Yeah, we've been on an hour and 25
Wow.
minutes, my friend. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. That's not every day I'm gonna get Moran Sextilis on my show, dude. That doesn't happen.
Maroni Saxatilis.
Maroni
You know
Saxatilis.
that name wasn't always the name. It used to be called Roccus lineatus.
I'm getting that name on Instagram.
Roccus, yeah. That's why they call it a rockfish.
Yeah, right.
Because its
Rockfish.
scientific name was Roccus lineatus.
Wow.
Roccus for rock, lineatus for the line, you know,
Right.
for the stripes. And then I think in the 80s, you know, as they get better with, you know, biology and
Sure.
and dividing the genus, like the not genus, I think it's called. They changed it to Moroni because then it was classified as a Moron, which is another family. I don't know. There's a history there, but it wasn't.
Oh,
always,
you know it. It's just going to take all night to explain it,
It
to
wasn't
everybody.
always Moroni Saxatilis. It used to be called Roccus lineatus.
So
That's why they call it
cool.
rockfish.
You guys do know what Marone Sexatilis means, right? You do know. Put it up on the board for those of you guys that don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody
So-
knows.
Yeah, I knew only because I met him. When I first read his name, I was like, oh, this guy's Greek. Look, it ends in IS. I'm terrible, let me tell you. Thank you for that, buddy, because of you, I know. So last week we said we were going to give away Jonathan Smith's lure. He personally made these himself. This is a rarity. I call it a rarity because he doesn't build plugs and sells them. He actually makes them out of joy and his love for these. And so you'll be lucky to get this. Who's the winner, honey? Post it up on the screen, please.
Oh, yes. one
Let it
second.
rip.
We have the winner of.
So we did this
drawing
before the
is
show, and the winner is
James Ferguson.
Well, you got to put it on the screen so you could see it first.
James
there you
Ferguson.
go. James Ferguson, you win this lure. Please contact me on Instagram, buddy. You will be getting this sent to your house. James Ferguson, congratulations. All right. So earlier, if you guys weren't here, I'm going to put the overhead.
No, wait, don't put the overhead because every time you do that.
Do it? All right, hold on.
Sound.
Well, I got to see this here. You didn't? No.
No, there's a problem with the sound.
Can I
when you
put
go to
mine?
overhead.
How about this? All right, so we got these custom lures by RD, custom plugs. Beautiful stuff here. This one right here, it says is 0.8 ounce, correct? Just under an ounce.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff, little guys. These are good too, man. These will catch a
That'd
big
be good
fish
for
too.
Spring,
Absolutely.
Like schoolies.
And this one I love. It's got like a splash of red on there. This is a beautiful, beautiful plug right here. 1.7 ounces. We'll be giving this away. How do you win these? You got to leave a comment on the bottom of this video. We're going to separate this into 3 prizes. So this will be 1 prize to the gentleman who gets the lures. The other prize is really dynamite. If you weren't here, he has a magazine. It's covered. It's in good condition. Obviously, he has more. He's not going to give away his #1 issue, obviously. But this is a beautiful magazine. If you like striped bass fishing, it is a famous cover. I've seen this on Instagram posted quite a few times. You could see a fisherman sitting here having a good time, smoking a cigarette. Like Eddie said earlier, he already caught his fish, and his buddies are here on the beach fishing for fish. Look at that price, guys. You will never see that again, just like you won't ever see this magazine again if you don't leave a comment on the bottom of this video. Leave a comment on the bottom of the video, and I will be sending this out to you next week. We'll make this one.
Anybody who makes a comment just win.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Leave a comment, and then we'll have the raffle, and we'll announce the winner next Sunday. Correct, honey?
Yes.
Beautiful. And also, we have a nice picture, Eddie. Is it between here?
Yeah.
Right there. There it is. And a nice classic picture. Look at that picture right there. It's 2 fishermen on the water. Now, what makes this interesting, it's a postcard. It's covered in plastic for protection. You turn it over, you have a 4-cent stamp on here, and there's a little writing on here to somebody who sent this out. And there's a date up here,
Montauk.
1961, Montauk, New York. This is a postcard of Montauk, New York. Sounds good. I see the address on you. I'm going to go knock on the guy's door just to say, hey, look, I got your postcard you never got. No, you're going to win this. Leave a comment on the bottom. So we'll have 3 prizes. We'll have this as a 3rd prize. We'll have this as a 2nd prize. And the final will be the outdoor life picture. This is nice, guys. If you get this, this is a nice one. I suggest
Frame it.
don't open it. Yeah, frame it. Don't open it up. Don't touch the plastic. Don't think you're going to open it up and you're going to see those cartoons where you see that guy kicking the dirt in somebody's face and say, if you take these pills, you're going to be really big. And no. This is a nice magazine. Get this magazine. Leave a comment on the bottom of the video. We're going to start ending the show right now, slowly. Honey, I didn't introduce you earlier, darling.
Okay.
And it's okay. I know you didn't. Say hi to everybody on the camera. There's my lovely wife. She is the tech support here. She is the master. She does it all for me. I just got the big mouth. That's all I got. So we're here in studio right now. Moran Saxatilis is on. Saxatilis is on. Eddie. That's Eddie, guys. Gelso Pasquarello. I want it. You got it, Gelso. Gelso was a winner at my first 3-day Montauk challenge. He won this year. He won $850 first prize for catching that 22-pound
22
striper.
pound. I'll join next year.
Yeah, next year you got to come on down, buddy. No doubt about it. It's going to be between you and Gelso. I know it. All you guys are great fishermen. All, buddy. Everybody. So do you want to finish this off with anything? Anybody got any final questions? Put them up on the board so we can see them. But do you want to finish this off with anything? Let anybody know. Shout outs, anything.
I don't know. Anybody. You feel me?
RD Customs, your buddy.
Yeah, RD. Check him out on Instagram. He's one of my good friends.
Excellent.
Makes excellent plugs.
Excellent. I was there. I saw him. I met him.
But yeah, other than that,
your wife, your kids, they're watching you out there. I know they're watching you.
Yeah, I don't know. They're probably asleep.
Right, the little guys are
traveling
asleep.
all day. But
yeah.
Other than that, you know, buy Bitcoin and let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go, Brandon. Now you know. All right, enough of that. Okay. So, anything else? Romina, darling, Mrs. P, what's that?
Everybody's saying great job. Everybody's saying great.
Thank you.
Great guest.
Thank you, guys. Don't forget to leave a comment on the bottom of the video so you can be in that drawing for next week. And again, Bill Wetzel's going to be on in about 2 weeks. I spoke to him yesterday. Next week, we don't have a guest. We're going to trade it up, and we're going to see what we can do. But Bill Wetzel's going to be on 2 weeks, and I'm not, Van Stoll 250 is coming, the VR 200, and the Van Stoll pliers. If you can see it in the overall look, let me get the overall look. If you look at the table there on your right, there they are, the Van Stoll 200. My wife's pointing to them. There also is the Van Stoll pliers, 7-inch titanium, and the VR 200. That'll be on for the 1,000 subscriber, which I passed a long time ago. But I'm still thanking you guys, and also the Instagram guys. Thank you so much, man. You guys are dynamite. I love it. Other than that, Eddie, let me get to you, buddy. Eddie, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you being on my show.
Pleasure to be here.
And I hope this isn't going to be the last time, because I know all in between this, there's that 60 waiting for you, Eddie. I know it is.
We'll see, but
and lots of arrowheads and spearheads.
Yeah. When you come up, let me know. I'll take you out.
Absolutely,
where
buddy.
The
I will be up
and all
there.
the seals.
Thank you so much, my brother. Are you ready, darling?
Okay.
Are we ready?
Thank you.
Let's do it. We got the music playing, darling.